Nnamdi, I'm gonna say some names,
Okay.
and I want you to tell me just in one word or maybe one phrase what comes to your mind. Okay.
Okay.
So Will Smith.
Um, um, Box office.
Okay. Um, Queen Latifah.
Longevity.
Okay. Um, Ice-T.
Pimping.
Pimping.
Yeah,
Okay.
just yeah.
Okay. Let me see. Vanessa Williams.
Elegance.
Okay. And Jamie Foxx, finally.
Funny.
So I have mentioned several entertainers that are actually musicians that make music, but we never really associate that with their careers. So whenever people bring up Will Smith, they usually think about Men in Black or
Yeah,
Independence Day
yeah,
or
that's what I'm
movie,
trying to
the
say. Yeah,
film industry.
yeah.
Vanessa Williams, we think of,
So she was the first Black Miss America.
yes.
So that's when I say elegance. I remember that. Yeah.
And for a lot of people that are maybe under 30, if they even know Ice-T, if they know Ice-T, they remember him from maybe a television show or something. Like
Okay. Yeah.
what is it,
And
Law and Order or something?
Law and Order.
Or
Yeah.
some of the movies he's been in.
Yeah. And Mega
So
Executive.
why is that? I'm really curious as when we talk about, for example, if I pose the question, who is your favorite rapper? I rarely hear people say Queen Latifah. It's like now her career is summed up in to Living Single or Set It Off or something like that. It's almost like her whole music career has been erased. Why do you think that happens to musicians who go into acting? Was
Well,
certain.
I think those ones who went from music to acting found out that meant that there was more of a steady income. They got paid better,
Mhm.
and they realized, wow, okay, this is where I'm going to plant my rest my feet. And but when you think of something, I think Queen Latifah, because she's been out, so we're talking about early 80s, mid 80s when she came
Mid
out,
80s, yeah.
and so and she didn't really have mega commercial success, because those type of hip hop artists didn't really make that much money back in those late 80s and those early 80s. And so she had some, UNITY. She had a few songs, but she didn't make, she wasn't Salt and Pepper kind of thing. So if you ask me Salt and Pepper,
Right,
I'm
right.
thinking, yeah, I can't remember them acting. I can just always remember them as being, and they had big hits. And I think so when
Right.
she moved on to, living single, and then she did the Set It Off. I think she was, at that time when Fox had those black shows like Martin and Living Single
Right.
and stuff
Martin,
and
Living Single,
Girlfriends. I mean, it was,
Colors.
Living Colors. So that was more enduring to us. You watch a senior late in the evening. So I think, yeah, I can't, even if I saw her rap now, it just seems strange and stuff.
Yeah, it does. And what's weird is the flip side of that, when you have Tisha Campbell from Martin, when she tried to forge her singing career, it didn't work. And Raven Simone, it didn't work. And who was
Yeah.
the guy that was on Hustle and Flow? The lead guy, Terrence
Oh,
Howard. He
Terrence
tried to
Howard.
do, yeah. And
Yeah,
Wayne Brady, they tried to do like
yeah. The
music,
problem
and it
is
just
though,
was not
because
accepted.
you think of Terrence Howard, he plays these very similar to Elias Fishburne back in the early days, very
Yeah,
serious characters. So to sing, he sang a lot of the tracks on that Hustle and Flow, but he seemed like he was doing his thing. He was acting. He's a very serious
right.
actor.
Acting.
Tisha Campbell was Gina, and she was also in House
Yeah,
Party. She was always the fun actress. So to have a music career as a comedian, even Jamie Foxx, I mean, he's, even when he did, I think they worked on him to get him, that he had to
yeah.
stop doing some shows. And he, even though his album went platinum, it was off the back of some real good slow songs and a real good marketing, but
Yeah, and
he
some
couldn't
associations like Kanye West. Yeah,
yeah,
T
but
Pain. Yeah.
yeah, so he couldn't really was he not the one that did Blame It?
Yeah, blame it
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
alcohol.
But
Yeah.
so he had some catchy tracks, but it was always strange watching him on the piano performing. I was waiting for him to break into Wonder or something like that. So so you can start to
I
see
still
that.
see Wanda when I see Jamie Foxx.
Yeah. So it isn't easy for them. And Ice-T. So I said Pimp because I remember him when he came out. I talked about the Curtis Mayfield's album, and I got introduced to Curtis Mayfield through Ice-T's
Yeah, Ice-T, yeah.
through that album. And he was a serious rapper back in the 90s, early 90s. But when he tasted success as an actor in New Jack City, he was like, "Man, I'm going to stay in this kind of money." Even though he was independent
Yeah.
and he was doing his own thing, but I think he saw that the checks was steady, less work,
Yeah.
and he just went into acting. So you forget, you will forget that he was a hip hop artist. LL
Yeah,
Cool
I
J
mean,
is
he's
one,
not LL
LL
Cool J,
Cool
but we
J.
still think of LL Cool J to some degree as a rapper, though. Whereas Ice-T, I think it's almost like he forfeited his whole hip hop. Like, you never mention him when any time there's the top 10 hip hop this and you never see Ice-T ever. And it's, he's had some hits, but LL is the one I still think people kind of still look at him as a rapper. He has a new album coming out too. I'm gonna check it out to see if he still got it. But he is kind of reaching in that same lane where just a few more successes of the television or movies and we probably will forget his music career.
Well, I
I
mean,
don't know.
he still when he does award shows, he still gets the opportunity to like he did. I think it was at the Emmys last year.
Oh yeah.
He still did his rap, so he still tries to show. And then he has Rock the Bell, which is his sort of
Yeah,
little
his
media stuff. Which
XM Sirius
so
channel.
so he's
Yeah.
still, in a sense, is still into hip hop.
Yeah, he still seems like he still loves
Yeah,
music. Like
he's still there, and he did a pass the mic. So in a sense, he still put his foot in, he's put keeping his feet in there. But no, with all the others, as I said, Will Smith, as I said, I was a big fan of Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. They made accessible music.
Yes.
That for someone like myself, and I have to always tell the audience that I went to college in the US. I lived in the US for 10 years. So I was there throughout the 90s. But even though I was born in the UK, but I went to high school in Nigeria. And so for myself, um, music, if it's accessible to me, it's not because Will Smith was, the Fresh Prince was the greatest rap, but it was more accessible for people outside of the US that didn't grow up in the US as a kid that understood what they're talking about. He was more accessible, like Heavy D and the boys were more accessible to me than
Yeah, they didn't curse.
some of Daz Effects. Okay, those were fun, but like the Black Sheep, some of those leaders of the old school, some of those type of New York real artists, even EPMD, I didn't get into them because I couldn't really relate to them. Fresh Prince was a lot more fun. It was like, okay, I can hear what he's saying. It was easy to follow along. I'm coming from an international person at that time. So,
Right.
yeah, as I said, Will Smith, the moment you mentioned his name, I just saw Independence Day and Wild Wild West. So that's,
Exactly. Well,
yeah.
let us know your thoughts and put them in the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe.
Yeah. Thanks for watching the show today.
And before we go, remember to hit that like, share, and subscribe button.
Yeah, but also remember to hit the notification button so you can be notified when we have a future show.
That too.
All right.
See you
Thanks,
next time.
guys. Bye.